Good Friday on God's Hill. Friday is the day that Jesus was executed. It was the day when Jesus was most separated from God the Father. And it's appropriate to come to you today from the graveyard. And the question that Good Friday raises in all of us is, how do we deal with things that seem to have no answer? How do we deal with things that seem to have no resolution? Death is one of those things. Mark's Gospel, which we're studying in Bible study here at Emmanuel Church on Tuesday mornings. Mark's Gospel is all about the crucifixion. It leads to that very quickly. It leads to Good Friday, and Jesus models a behavior uniquely in Mark's Gospel about the pain and trauma of suffering if you're going to be a follower of Jesus, which led many people to believe that perhaps Mark was writing for the persecuted church, and there's probably good reason to believe that. Fortunately, I've never lived under Christian persecution. I think of many people I've met that have. And for our own society, 2023, the United States of America, what is it that seems to have no resolution for you? What is it that seems most problematic, most chaotic? Many people feel that we live in a time that just doesn't quite work for us. If there's one thing that unites us, it's that fact that people who have been around a long time say to me all the time, I'm glad I'm not raising kids in this society. And young people say to me all the time, it's tough to grow up in this world. And I think everybody comes at it from a different place. Everybody comes at it from a binary place, an opposite place. The young people sometimes come at it from a different angle, I guess is how I would put it, than the older people. And it's very frustrating for everybody. Young people are putting off getting married. They feel like they're not making enough money to get decent housing. Older people worry about the changes in society that they've seen that they don't remember from when they were younger. And we seem to be at loggerheads a lot of the time, politically, socially. And I wonder if we're not too far from Mark's Gospel. I wonder if we're not too far from Jesus' example. Because in the crucifixion, the world did what we never should have done. We crucified the Son of God. We blamed the older generation, the high priests. They blamed Jesus for being a insurrectionist, a rebellionist. They didn't want him teaching these young disciples and these young children, which he had pronounced such love for. Let the little children come unto me. And then the younger people worried about, think of Peter, worried about, we'll never betray you, Lord. What's going to happen when you're gone? They even ask him in John's gospel, the disciples ask him, how can we know where you're going if we don't know the way? That's when Jesus says the very famous phrase, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So these issues have been around a long time. Longer than America 2023, longer than Easter 2023, and they're sticky issues. So my encouragement to you today is maybe you'll find some time this Easter weekend, this Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and Easter Sunday by yourself in the midst of getting together with family and friends, and maybe read the end of Mark's Gospel, or better yet, the whole of Mark's Gospel. It's the shortest of the Gospels. And read it like you've never read it before, as if you were approaching it for the first time. Because you'll hear a lot of chaos there. You'll hear a lot of trouble. And the crucifixion is the death to chaos. The crucifixion is the death to trouble. It's not fully known, and it's hard to talk about prior to Easter because there's a lot of suffering and grieving, and I don't want to move too quickly on to the Easter story. That has its own video on Easter Sunday. But Mark's Gospel prepares a people to live in the way of Jesus even when it is chaotic. Mark's Gospel prepares us to live in the way of Jesus even when it's not easy.